It's a beautiful day in most neighborhoods. A beautiful day for a cutie. Won't you please be my neighbor? Okay. Um, I'm going to directly state some facts in the hope that I know I'm not dealing with rational people, but hey, let's try it. Um, I'm chilling. The minute I say that, I think about salt and pepper. Minding my business. Anyway, good afternoon. Um, I've been busy. I've been I've been extremely busy. So I haven't had time to socialize too much or socialize some thoughts out here. It was brought to my attention recently that some timelines was being dropped out here. And I took a peek into the timeline revelation. Um, and it took me a couple of days to get through some videos. So I'm a couple of days still behind. Not that it matters much to anybody. Um, Good afternoon, Karen. But I'm definitely a couple of days behind in some timeline investigations that went out here, revelations or reveals or whatever goes on. So I've listened, and to my what I hate the most is when I listen to these things and then I hear me being mentioned, or I always got to deal with this internet issues one of these days. So how is this even possible that I'm coming up in conversations? You know, people will say if you was there, you're gonna come up if you were there. The thing that I dislike about what I'm listening to is the narrative around being there. I could be on somebody's platform. I can have a conversation on somebody's platform, but it's the narrative that the new person creating, doing their commentary, puts around the context of why I was there. I might have to come back just on Zoom itself because going in through OBS, I didn't update the OBS system, and whenever you don't update OBS to one of their latest versions, I think this is what's giving me this delay. But nevertheless, I don't plan to be here long because there's not much to say. I listened to a video. I didn't appreciate what was attributed to me, and I spoke on it. I spoke on it via my community wall. I didn't even strike up a live and say anything. I just went to my own community wall and I spoke on my community wall. And this is what I said. For those people that like to meddle and send across information, right? The question is, can you people read with understanding? For those individuals making timelines, I only heard one person making timeline. This is how I started this out. For those individuals making timelines, Karen approached the no trademark bitch in February 2023. Period. So I put a date on something for a reason. Hold on a minute. I put a date on something for a reason. Because that's when something took place. The recent timeline exposure featuring the couple whose wife wanted to suck until she choked and sent her husband into a stroke was in May 2023. Where did I address, speak to, ask for commentary, call out Anaya or her husband? I described, that is a description there, featuring the couple whose wife wanted to suck until she choked and sent her husband into a stroke was in May 2023. So the Nicole's Perspective thing took place in February 2023. And what was being presented long. Karen, is it consistent? Let me go listen for myself because I'm a one-woman team. So I'm listening to the narration of this storyline by Unspoken Purpose, which she's within her purview to do. I'm not here challenging anybody's authority to make videos on anything or saying anything about any of this stuff that's out here. I'm not asking no one not to mention me as it's been explicitly stated, but I am asking someone to define and give me the evidence that supports their commentary that's against me. Period. If I wanted to tell somebody that they did something to me, I would say on this. What I do care about is somebody constantly making a narrative that says Monica was messing with me first. Monica did something to me first. Maybe Monica did. But you haven't provided Monica with enough evidence of what was done. And that is as critical as keep coming out saying, so and so bothered me. So and so did something to me that made me have to do commentary on them. They came for me first. If you want to keep saying that somebody came for you first, then you need to give an example of how, when, where, and why. I'm not going to talk about the efforts created to go through this timeline because that's somebody else's narrative that I don't want to do commentary on. I'm not interested. There are some people out here that I've come to the realization of, and this is based on my experience, and I'm only speaking from my experience on here, not from what other people experienced and I seen it happen to them. I'm speaking from my experience When you got man who is so toxic that he will fuck you and then try to fuck you, oh no. You got to know when it's time to get out. I think my slogan has been, if the feelings don't lay there, why you still stay there? You've got to know when to go. I have now seen, experienced twice the diary of a mad black man on here. I lived it in my own of it without even knowing it, without watching all the videos, right? I could just imagine what was said about me when I wasn't listening. I watched how people were in relationships with other people, broke up, and then tried to destroy them afterwards. I'm not accustomed to having men in my life that would want to destroy me when we're no longer together. So I seen that, and I passed on wanting to be part of that. Any women, any woman, or for those women that feel like they can handle that type of man, more power to you. I do believe when a person shows you who they are, believe it the first time. You don't have to see it happen over and over again. You know, you don't have to, in the words of Unspoken Purpose, Unafraid, you don't have to keep seeing the patterns of what these people are doing in order to be like, yeah, I'm going to get out of that. All I got to do is feel like this doesn't work for me and it's time for me to go. So I'm not meddling with your timeline. I know that the couple wants to come out here and fight somebody. Listen, if you as a woman is married to a whole man, and I'm using ifs and everything, right? So if the shoe fits, wear it. If it don't apply, let it fly. Well, however you do it. But if you're a grown woman married to a man, and then you decide to have an extracurricular affair in your hobbies or whatever you do in your extracurricular activities with another man, and it comes, and then you are friends with that other man's fiance, you a trifling person, period. And no narrative built around there to talk about how you swing bad and how bad of a bitch you are is going to negate the fact that you are a toxic bitch on top of that. So I'm not going to take your rocky moments away from you. Man, you could swing as high as you want from whatever sky as you want. And people can try to paint a picture about you that validates you for the rest of the world that they spoon feed data to can begin to like you. If you need somebody to take up your campaign and try to reinvent you for people to like you on the internet, then there's something wrong with you, period. And most of you seek somebody to rehabilitate you from the worst you that you've been on this internet so that you can belong to a clusterfuck. Are you serious? Is this what we're doing around here? I don't want nobody ever to have to represent me so that I can be accepted in the group at large. It's better to be all by yourself at that moment. So y'all gonna want to do what y'all doing around here. I'm here for the bullshit. I'm I'm definitely here for the bullshit. Absolutely. But I don't want to be incorporated in y'all bullshit. So I hear like, oh, then Monica got up there and then Monica was on point with that. Like, I'm gonna tell you, in those days I felt like if people want to make up with people, they have a right to do that. You have a right, your free will. You get the right to do whatever the hell you want to do. I didn't have no issues with that. I could care less. When I heard people, I just butt out. People playing stuff when I came up on a platform because Joy woke me up. I think I said I woke up. I was listening to one stream. They shut that down and they went to another stream, and then Joy got blocked. Let me let y'all in on something. Joy don't got enough cousin rewards out there, reward points, cousin status points, for me to just pop up in some shit and be like, hey, I'm getting woken up to ask you why you block somebody. No, I'm asking for myself why you block her. Period. It's your shit to block her. I'm not telling you not to block her. I just want to know for my own why you did that. That's a fair question. See, unlike you people that need people to spoon feed you the narratives, I got my own questions. I got my own thought processes. I want to know why something happened. I'm going to ask the motherfucking question. So, yeah, I listen to that, and then I listen to the narrative around it. And I say, okay, that's her assumption of why I got up there, because I said I just woke up. You know how clear that picture became for me when I heard exactly what I said and I was remembering I was asleep. I wake up at a certain time in the night because, you know, according to you people on the internet, I'm chauffeuring around my, what is it? What's the man supposed to be? What is that man of mine supposed to be doing? He's supposed to be a day laborer. I'm chauffeuring around my day laborer in the middle of the night. So I get up, I wake up to shit. I don't have all of the information. Just like I don't have all the information now because I did not watch whatever came out a couple of hours ago or yesterday. I'm watching shit from like 3 days ago. I'm watching shit that's like 4-hour streams, two days solid. I'm only listening to this shit on my way from work. Not on my way to work because I can't have y'all fucking up my head on my way to work. So I'm listening to shit on my way from work. Listen, if you need, listen. I wish JJ had fought harder in the scope of what happened with his channel. I'm encouraged by the fact that Joy did stand up and she fought back. I don't know what has happened in the last 24 hours as it relates to the status of people's channels. I'm only hearing what I heard on videos. I'm not checking for you. I'm not checking for you people. I would hope that after you have had a terrorist moment where you had JeFF come at you and try to take your channels from you, that you will come back here wanting to do something differently. Hey, Bam, stop trying to be a fucking troublemaker around here. We all know that these people can't read for themselves. We know they can't understand shit. Okay? We understand that. So we don't need you to put a narrative on Monica's statement. Again, for those making timelines, Karen approached the no trademark bitch in February 2023. The recent timeline exposure featuring the couple whose wife wanted to suck until she choked and sent her husband into a stroke was in May 2023. Now, I don't know where the timeline is sitting today, but when I listened to the 4-hour video from a couple days ago, and I finished listening to it yesterday, it wraps up with a bunch of women on a panel doing what they do, analyzing what they saw, right? A bunch of women was on a panel analyzing there. I don't even know that group of women, but there was a group of women. That's the video that I last watched. Nowhere in that video do I hear any reference to this man having a stroke. What I heard reference to is that something changed in their life. They was, found the Quran, was posting more things, was going in another direction, and all this other stuff, right? How do you miss the timeline when these motherfuckers was choking, sucking, fucking, choking, stroking? When do you miss that part? Oh, that's up. That's coming up. That's coming up. That's coming up. Listen. I never want in my life to have a woman be my friend, befriend me, and then be wanting to have a secret relationship with my man. If y'all want to keep calling the wrongdoings of folks plays, right? When you see somebody, have a life moment, right? Because, in this world, if you're not happy at home, something's going to make you happy. There's going to be an alternative. So people got alternatives out here. And they utilized it. And if you want to later on make it seem like that's not what it was a play and all this other stuff for clicks and views and stuff, if that's how you want your life to be reflected, then so be at it. Mo ain't got nothing to do with that. Mo don't give a fuck. My comments on my community posts had nothing to do with you motherfuckers. It just defined what video I was watching. Simple. The recent timeline exposure featuring the couple whose wife wanted to suck until she choked and sent her husband into a stroke was in May 2023, opposed to the situation that Karen went in to the No Trademark Bitches room in February 2023. I told y'all to do the math. Another point I was making to the unspoken was, she keeps saying that I was over there talking about the Kanika experiment, the Kanika PSYOP, and I was blaming the Kanika PSYOP community. Yes. The behaviors, as I seen them earlier this year, were based on my only interactions with people like them. I didn't know, or I knew that the beef community out there existed. I didn't know that the rejected beef community out here existed, right? Because each of y'all don't know how to call yourselves, but you do know that you are conflict creators. You cultivate an environment of conflict. You know that's what you do for your content. Right now, you've stummed, this has come up. This is what y'all do best, the conflict. This is what you're based on. You're beefing. You're beefers. You might have gotten thrown out of the big black beef community or the big white beef community or the big beefing community altogether. You guys are, a little quadrant onto yourselves. But nevertheless, you thrive in conflict. You call out people wanting to fight. Y'all act Billy badass. Y'all pull up on channels all the fucking time like, oh yeah, we ready to throw. And then when somebody throws real addresses out here, people don't want to make real contact because all of a sudden their real life is more important than their cyberspace life. And they need people to remind them that. They need people to remind them like, yo, you about to pull up to something on somebody else. Wasn't even about you. Why you over there? So when I speak on the cyberspace, at the time of the videos that this person is timelining, I only had encountered one group of people on this internet. I hadn't been in compilations of communities seeing the same fucked up stuff. So I always give I always give leverage to you, unspoken purpose, to the extent that she's been more places than I have on this internet, and she followed intimately the diary of a mad black man named Jeff, right? She followed him. She knows him. She could break him down. I hadn't. I hadn't. When he and Joy hooked up, I got a glimpse at their life. I went on with mine. I had much more pressing issues in my personal life to deal with than to worry about my cyber life. What was going on in cyberspace. When I linked back up with Joy, not allegedly, but when I linked back up with Joy late last year, around this time last year, when I linked back up with Joy, I wasn't even inquisitive about their life. I was working on my relationship with Joy and seeing if it was worth that trouble. Period. Was not interested in anything going on. So what I now know about that man and what I knew back then are not the same thing. You cannot assume that the person and the knowledge I have today is what I had yesterday because you already had it. We enter into this in different starting points. Period. Different starting points. Man, y'all up in here at K's, B's, and all kinds of stuff. And that's about it. So maybe unspoken purpose doesn't know that. I don't know how many times I have to say I have had no real intel on how Jeff got down, Joy's ex-fucking fiance, until I've seen this stuff go on, especially since August 2023. Oh, I've seen a lot since August 2023. I saw a lot before that time. I was starting to see things. I was starting to see things, and I just was like, I was starting to hear things and pick up things. But that August engagement, when we was on Cynthia's platform, and I was watching him tell fake narratives or feeding into, after the whole thing with the fake ring, or the ring and not, I wasn't engaged, all of that whole shit, and I listened to his side of how he was able to manipulate, mind fuck you people out here with that relationship. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I did see it from his perspective as to how easy it was to do those type of things. Because you, especially when you think you got your own answers to stuff, it's easy. It's easy to hear something that you really didn't hear. Real talk. I go through messages sometimes and they don't sound the same a week later when I read them back. They don't sound the same in tone. Especially messages I have between men and me. When I look back, I could go back like maybe a couple years back and I could look at some messages and be like, you thought he really liked you. You were mistaken. Listen to what this person said right here. This was an indicator. I do that all the time. I go back and I look at where I was at with some people and I'd be like, I was mistaken. They told me right here. They never changed. Their position has never they were crystal clear. Again, no matter how one tries to spoon feed these followers up here, the facts will always remain the same. You cannot change the facts. And what I've heard was stuff that took place in May 2023. Unspoken Purpose, you were already speaking on Monica since February 2023. And I'm going to go with what JJ said at this point in time. When JJ came to me and said, those people know all about us. They've been told about us for a long time. Maybe since 2021 when Joy first took a ride over there to the other side. But nevertheless, I didn't know. And I didn't know you people. I didn't know much about anything about you folks until I reunited with Joy. And I'm using my words, I'm just trying to use my words lightly. I don't know, because someone read something to me that Anaya wrote, or Anaya's husband wrote, the two of them together, the couple, that sucks and fucks until they choke and have strokes, motherfuckers, right? What they had to say. I don't know why y'all got yourselves all out here on Momomo, because if you listen to the post or if you read it with clarity, there was nothing said to you in that post. Nothing said to you. And I'm going to stand on, I only spoke YouTube facts. That there was an email out here that your wife was going to choke. She wanted to suck something till she choked. And that you had a stroke as a result of the stress related to this. So I did write y'all today to say, because there's a community post wall out there. So this is what I'm saying from my base. And I'm saying it directly to y'all so there be no misunderstandings. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. Period. I don't care if your relationship stands. Is my package here? Oh. I don't care about your relationship. I don't wish anything bad on your relationship. I don't care if your relationship falls apart or stays together. It has no bearings in my life. I wish you whatever you need for your life. Whatever it is for you. And that's it. I want to say something about the keto account because that's been coming up. So let me just write down that thing because I've been accused of being all over the place. I remember when the keto account was doing her, she made the 227. What happened? Okay. When she made the 227 episode, I spoke on that. Absolutely. I thought it was one of the best ideas I've seen. No, it doesn't say that. Okay. I thought it was one. Okay. All right. Because you keep talking to me and I'm just saying I said okay. Um All right. I thought the keto thing for the 227 was a wonderful idea. And I will stand on that from what I saw at that piece at that time. I commented on the sitcoms altogether in that period of time. Um, Based on what they was doing at that time. I stand on those commentaries. Now, if that's the moments that people are trying to say that I was speaking on them negatively, I was speaking on what my opinion was on the different sitcoms and what could come out of it. You guys call that commentary. It's amazing how when people do their own commentary, other people have a problem with you doing commentary, but want to tell you it's only okay for them to do commentary. Is there a cap on who can do commentary out here? I just need to know. My post from yesterday was for unspoken purpose, but other people thought it was for them. So I had to come out and give them a piece for them, which is a question. Oh, Anaya, why'd you join my membership? Why the fuck was you over here? Because I went to your space because you was over here in my space. Oh, I certainly did. You got a video of me coming up there, and I'm thinking, and I'm listening. We were talking about gardening. Remember that? So I went over into your space because I was trying to figure out, were you trying to collab or was you just, I don't know. I didn't like you, Anaya. Period. I told everybody that was in earshot of me that I didn't like you. I didn't trust you. So when you came out being, because we don't know what happened to Nurse 007, right? Because I think you was her. But I'm not going to sit up here and call you something that I don't know. But I knew that, yeah, you was starting some drama. And when these people keep saying, I don't know who's the drama starter or whatever, I think everybody in their own right has a lot to play in that. You have to be considered a drama starter when you are in your own marriage and then you are over there cheating virtually with your YouTube friend's fiance. It's the nastiest position any woman could be in. And any woman that is your friend and tells you, nah, that's okay. I don't give a fuck about none of that. She's lying to you. You wouldn't even like it if you had any goddamn morals. You're the lowest of life bitches out here when you just think about how you would just play in your friend's face while trying to play in her man's pants. Period. Every narrative since it came out that was going on with you, I think it was only the Fly Lucci woman that had the gall to tell you about that shit. Like you just a nasty bitch. Like she was like the only person that I heard. I don't know if her opinions today remain the same, but whatever I heard her say back then, she described you. What was it? Anaha? Anaha, she rocked your motherfucking world. She let you know you the lowest bitch that a bitch could get at. Like everything she kicked out about you was facts on facts on facts on facts. So if you need somebody to rehabilitate you as a woman on that, go right ahead. I'm going to say this for the dead bitches out there that don't live in places where it snows. I be damned if I'm going to fuck any man and it snows outside and he's not shoveling my snow. I'm not paying the guy down the block. I'm not paying the little kid. He gonna get out there and shovel. Now, as I get older, maybe some people got bad knees, bad legs, bad backs. Maybe him could pay for somebody to shovel snow, but Monica, not in a million years. So, bam, crackhead, bam, drug addict, bam, bam, selling drugs to your mama, bam. You know that, bam. And this is what you told me on my platform, bam, right? Little teenage bam who didn't want her house to be burnt down again because her mama owed the man money and he burnt down her house. To that bam, stay out my motherfucking business. I didn't ask you to shovel no snow. I ain't asked you for nothing. You're out here with this narrative. It's freezing the internet with this bullshit. Every time I turn around, it's something. You got this other bitch. I ain't forget about you. You know, I still got my little wall here. I ain't forget about none of y'all. Y'all worry about things when it comes down to finances. Y'all worry about somebody else's finances that ain't never asked you for nothing. Folks that ain't got shit. I ain't never been up here, bam, asking anybody for any money. Not like Wimpy. Give me $2 today and I'll pay you back on Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever day of the week it was. I'm not her. My post was specific to unspoken manipulation of the facts as it relates to me. Not you, not your husband, not the woman who virtually fucked another man. And I'm going to say in the presence of his husband, in the presence of her husband, for internet affection. I ain't do that shit. You did that shit. This is your story. This is your life. You was up here swinging from tree branches and everything, standing up for people, for internet love. And you brought your husband along doing the same stupid shit. Y'all need to y'all need to work on getting y'all shit together. Point blank. That's why when people were feeling sorry for your man, your husband, in my head, I was like, what a stupid motherfucker. They deserve each other. All I was thinking, and this is my stinking thinking, was like, oh, she must be the breadwinner inside the house. Nurse 007 over there. Maybe it's Nurse 304. I don't know. I don't care. But it's a lot to just degrade your man like that. Period. I remember seeing him on the side of the road. I don't know what he was doing. Flashing the things and shit like that. I don't know. You know how they had the guys on the side of the road directing traffic and shit? He was out there one day doing a video on the side showing folks that that's what he was doing. Very proud man. Get that shit in order over there. Like, yeah, something just ain't right about, ain't nothing right about y'all. And even the whole acting like gangsters, I'ma fight people on the internet stuff, that shit is tired. Y'all grown. You got grown kids too. You got older kids in this sphere. See their parents not acting like Bonnie and Clyde. Like, y'all, man, bye. It's so not what responsible parents would be doing. It's so not. Maybe the image that you're asking somebody else to come out here and do you a timeline, to invent you again, to reincarnate you. Maybe y'all need that. Maybe it's hard to meet these imaginary people from the virtual spaces reality. Maybe you need somebody that really could speak to them. You know, people call Karen a troll whisperer. Maybe this unspoken purpose is some kind of fucking whisperer on y'all behalf or something. She definitely wants to be the people's advocate. She wants to take up for the underdog. But do you really need somebody to take up your cause like that? Y'all looking mighty weak out here. Every last one of you that needs her to do that. I remember listening to the Too Strong person. You know, the no show Too Strong. She gonna be like, hey, Joy, you should let her do your timeline. Let her do it. Again, Unspoken Purpose was doing commentary about Karen and Monica first. If she has any evidence of me speaking on her before the trademark incident, I would appreciate to see it. I would like to know what I was saying about her that got her disgruntled with me. I'd like to know. See, I'm tired of hearing that that is what I did and not receiving any evidence of it. That's what my community post was about. Period. It's nothing more. It wasn't trying to get into anything other than what that was. I'm human. I hear people out here talking about me. I see the bullshit. I'm going to respond. There's only but so much that you're not going to respond to. I could turn the other cheek. I ain't got a problem with that. But don't think that I'm just going to be staying over there like, oh, okay. If you don't have this information to share with me, then you just should cease and desist with the narrative that Monica and KK came for you and Too Strong first. When you include me and you say Monica and KK, the only time that we were together on here was with the no trademark incident. We wasn't rolling together on nothing prior to that incident. Not to my recollection. Not to my recollection. You do timelines. Let me just hear that one. And you keep saying, I was gonna put all of these together in a community post and that. I don't want you to do unnecessary work, but I do want you to make it clear so I understand. Because see, unlike the rest of you, if I'm wrong about something, I'm going to correct my wrongs. I do not believe that I spoke on Unspoken Purpose, unafraid, intentionally, before I heard things about Monica is this and Monica is that as it related to me popping up on a panel over there in the trademark situation. I remember hearing the commentary about that. And I remember saying distinctly to Karen, well, she's entitled to her own opinion. I could see where she felt that way. But she's like, yeah, she's seen you in other places. You seen me because you was watching your ops and I must have been around them. Or JJ may have had some truth in his estimate that you guys have been exposed um, to me long before I even knew you existed. Last but not least, if it has to do with that whole petition, I spoke on none of y'all with the petition. I asked to see the petition. I read the petition for myself, and I didn't feel like it was going to be enough for me to do what I wanted to do. It wasn't enough. And I looked at the petition, and still to this day, I will say it did not have an audience. It did not have a legislative branch. It did not have a place it could go, not even really with YouTube, to demand a response. So it was like a petition that went nowhere. It's a good effort, but it didn't have an intended audience. When you make a petition has a source that the petition is going to go to. And when the petition goes to that source, guess what happens? The source then finds out, like, oh, this many people want this to happen, whatever's in that petition. That's about it. You know how many people on here, when just going through this copyright scenario, you know how many people go through that whole copyright thing on this internet every day? There's a common, it's not no blueprint. Get the blueprint from so and so. Get the template on how to respond. There's no blueprint on it. There's no template for it. It is pure terroristic actions. Period. It's what some people do when they're losing. And it will always go down if JJ's channel never comes back. I will always remember that channel was removed because a man decided that his appropriate response to another man was to do a diss track. We called them ethers over here. To do something similar to an ether. And then instead of that man responding in kind, he went and enlisted two other men to help him write a response that went dormant, that no one cared about. And in the midst of missing that, went on a full-fledged war against somebody else. That's what I'll remember. Unfortunately, I can't say that two men got into an argument and they squashed their beef over some tracks. I cannot say that we've learned how to do appropriate conflict resolution on here, because we haven't. And it is unfortunate. I don't got nothing for you, Anaya or Rashid. Period. I don't give enough fucks about you to have something for you. I don't plan to go to Philly or to the shores of New Jersey where one of you may or both of you may domicile at. I don't have that kind of energy, time, or commitment. Period. Life is too short for these little games that y'all playing on here. You got people challenging people to pull-ups and all this other stuff. Ain't nobody got no time for that. Ain't nobody got no time for that. Anyway, today's broadcast was brought to you by the M and the O. Mo. Oh, P.S. I haven't spoken to a lot of people in a couple of days. I really haven't spoken to a lot of people since Thanksgiving, because I've been extremely busy with some things at work. and doing my end of the year prep down. And I want to just continue on with those efforts. I wish you guys a happy holiday season. Try to do something better than this internet. I'm sure y'all can make better things happen out here than this. And I'll continue to watch the timeline unfold before my eyes because I am learning things. And that's it. That's all. And